The Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel welcomes you to this edition of the Mayors and Supervisors Weekly Update, brought to you by...
Each week, our community makes history. Each week, you make history. And each week, there's only one source to turn to for the first take on history. You know what that is? Subscribe to the Sentinel right now to discover the history being made in your own backyard.
The Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel. More than just your news, it's your history.
Hey, welcome everyone to this week's edition of the Mayors and Supervisors Update. I'm Chris Carosa, publisher of the Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel. Each week, we bring you the goings-on in the towns and villages that we cover. We'll be starting off this week with Mike Falk in the town of Lima. Mike, what's going on in Lima?
Hello, Chris. Thanks for hosting again. And as this is airing today on Easter Sunday, happy Easter to everyone. Of course, as it is Easter, the day following Easter, in German, it would be Ostermontag. In Lima is Dingus Day. And so there will be the annual Dingus Day celebration at Fanatics. Float on over there after 4 o'clock, and you will see everybody dressed in red. $10 is for the Polish food and the Krupnik toast, and there will be a walking parade around the village, as we always do. A good celebration, celebrate Polish heritage, and enjoy the day. Switching hats, the Veterans One Stop Center wanted me to announce that there is a change to the New York State Lifetime Liberty Pass. For veterans, the Liberty Pass lets you into all of the state parks and stuff unless it is run by a third-party vendor. There are changes in eligibility. You do not need to, it's loosened up a lot, so more veterans are included. The Lifetime Liberty Pass looks like that. And you can get more information on how to apply for the Liberty Pass by doing a search online. Lifetime Liberty Pass from New York State Parks and Rec comes right up, and a good benefit for everybody. So now on to the thing that is on everybody's mind. The eclipse is going to be again on Monday, the 8th of April. Livingston County would like to announce that its facilities will be closing at noon that day. All non-essential workers and things are being sent home in anticipation of the eclipse. The same will be true for the Lima Town Hall. We'll be closing at noon. If you have not gotten your eclipse glasses yet, we still have a small quantity here, $2 each. And you can get those from the clerk. But again, Monday the 8th, we will be closing at noon. And again, that's because there's going to be a lot of festivities here in Lima at the park. Folks will be able to go over there. There will be food trucks and a viewing tent if it's cloudy, and glasses while they last. But I suspect that the night before at the Blacklight Disco, most of them will be gone. So the eclipse is going to be quite something, and hoping to see all of you there. Here to there. So HERE, the number 2, and then the word there, .help, is simplifying travel across Monroe, Ontario, and Livingston counties. This is something that was originally developed here in Livingston County as a ride-sharing kind of thing. How do you get to your appointments and all that? It has expanded to the 3-county area. There is an app for your phone. It can give you driving directions if that's all that you need. It can give you walking directions, bicycling directions. It can also give you all of the different kinds of transportation modes that are available to get you from here to there. So in order to access that, you can start off by going here to there at lifespanrochester.org. That's the email address, and they will start getting you set up. Or just hit the website here to there.help. The new Livingston County Tourism 2024 Spring Travel Guide is out. If that's something that you are used to getting, it is now available at different places around the county. A beautiful guide for all the different spring things to do. And I hope that you get to take advantage of that. And that's all I got, Chris.
All right. Thanks, Mike. Mike, can you hold up that pass again away from the camera because it was kind of blurry when you
like so?
Still blurry. Move it a little closer. Okay, hold on. Oh, put it where your face is. But you got to keep your face. All right. For some reason, it's fuzzing up, but that's all right. I think people get the idea. They can see part of it sometimes.
Right. It's actually hard to see because it's a card and it's blue to red, and then the balance of it is the edge of the card, which blends in with the paper.
So now, actually, it's clear. Okay.
There
Thanks.
we go.
All right. Well, happy to know that I'm dressed for Dingus Day, but I left my pussy willows in my other pocket. So, Rick, it's up to you now on Mayors and Supervisors Update. What's going on in Honeoye Falls?
Well, again, I'm certainly going to be tag teaming. I'm sure a little bit on what the other guys are talking about as well. It's always great to be here when I can, and my best wishes to all on this Easter holiday weekend. And with this recording actually taking place on Good Friday, I hope all enjoy a peaceful weekend. Today, as we're recording this today, March 29th is actually National Vietnam Veterans Day. And I attended a wonderful ceremony at Veterans Outreach. And this is a day of a National Day of recognition for our Vietnam veterans, many that are still with us today for sure, that originally did not receive the proper welcome home, support, or thanks when they returned from war. We should never forget their service and sacrifice, and let us always support our veterans from any veteran that has served our great nation. A special thanks to all those Vietnam veterans who have literally paved the way and fought the war in another country, but then who continued to fight a battle at home as well. They have specifically worked and fought to ensure that any veteran coming home is welcomed, thanked, and supported. And our vets today actually owe them their thanks as well. And I know they offer that all the time. Our thanks today to those Vietnam vets and all our service members of the past and present. While there are many things always going on within Monroe County, some of the hot topics are certainly, as Mike just mentioned, the eclipse. There are a lot of events going on all around Rochester. You only need to go to any of the websites for Monroe County or the city of Rochester or many of our surrounding communities who have a lot of events going on. In the village of Honeoye Falls, we are not conducting any planned events, if you will, because as I said before, we know our friends and partners in Lima have a lot of great events going on. Henrietta has events going on, a couple of local small business events here in Mendon and Honeoye Falls as well. But our parks will certainly be open. There'll be some great viewing from Rotary Park, from the Monroe Street Park, from Harry Allen Park. And we're expecting to have some people coming into our community as well. And we know our restaurants and other businesses are gearing up for that as well. Still with the county, though, the need for another item that we're going to be talking quite a bit about is the need for more, better housing for the homeless and those in crisis, for those who are below the poverty level, and we simply need more housing stock in general. Unfortunately, this tends to be a bit political, but will continue to be a big subject of discussion and debate and policy of how to move forward and support and what support we can provide at what levels. And then also, it's been in the news a lot lately, but is a big subject of conversation, is certainly the RG&E public takeover discussion. There are those who want a study to be completed and funded by both the city of Rochester and Monroe County, which I personally do not support, but has also been and is also a political hot potato. This will come before the legislature in April, and the request is for the county, and thus our taxpayers, to approve and spend $1 million along with the $500,000 that the city has approved to financially support this study. And while I am not against a study in general, I do not support, and I am not in favor of the county spending $1 million on this. So that will be a lot of discussion coming forward. The Village of Honeoye Falls will conduct its annual budget meeting and public hearing on April 1st, Monday, April 1st, beginning at 6 p.m., and then will conduct its annual meeting at 6:30. The main topic of conversation, I believe, is going to be the increase in the tax rate due to the temporary hiring of per diem paid firefighters to serve the community from around 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. As these hours are the critical hours the Honeoye Falls Fire Department is struggling to cover due to the lack of volunteers, which is a problem throughout the country and across our state. This will allow for the continued service as we work for a long-term permanent solution to this concern. We certainly keep our partners in the town of Mendon and Bloomfield in consideration with this. We will hold multiple community meetings in the next couple of months as we discuss and look for a permanent solution. I appreciate the positive feedback we've received overall from the community as this has been announced, and certainly much more to come on that. Thank you very much, Chris. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thanks, Rick. Over to John. John, down in Mendon, what's going on there?
Well, happy Easter to everyone. And as my fellow elected officials have mentioned, the eclipse is on everyone's mind. And as I mentioned last week, the town of Mendon does not have any town-sponsored events scheduled. However, we want to just remind everybody, as I did last week, to be safe during the eclipse. You want to make sure that if you're traveling, that you know where you're going and be prepared for a lot of traffic on the road, especially if the weather cooperates for our region. We're already looking forward to opening up the spray park this year. Due to popular demand, we're purchasing more of the Adirondack chairs that many of the adults enjoy while the children are enjoying the spray park. Those will be delivered in the next week or so. We normally open that up at Memorial Day, around Memorial Day weekend. We kind of watch the weather in those couple of weeks around Memorial Day weekend to make a determination exactly when the spray park will open. Also, the playground on Semmel Road, which is a little west of the spray park, we're doing some work there, so that's temporarily closed. However, that will be receiving some rubber mulch that will take place of the wooden mulch. So we're doing some work on that one as well to make it nicer, easier, and less maintenance going forward. We're also pursuing the new entrance for the community center, which will be around back of the building, that will service the Falls Legion Post 664. So they'll have a direct entrance and exit to the space that they use in the basement of the community center. Our next town board meeting is scheduled for Monday, April 8th. We have delayed that by one day for various reasons, so that there is a legal notice that will appear in the Sentinel. And that new meeting date is Tuesday, April 9th, 7 o'clock at the Mendon Town Hall. One of the things that I'm asking the board to consider at that April 9th meeting is to place a moratorium on smoke shops. We have had a lot of concern about smoke shops within the town outside the village, And I'm going to ask the board to place a moratorium on smoke shops so that we can fine tune our law regarding this type of activity. As most of you know, the town of Mendon did opt out of cannabis sales. So cannabis sales are not legal in the town of Mendon. However, some of these smoke shops do have related type of sales, I will call them. And last but not least, just a quick reminder to everybody that next May of 2025, you will be required to have a passport or an enhanced driver's license to fly, even domestically in the United States. And I know from personal experience, coming up with some of the things like your birth certificate and things like that can be a little bit of a challenge at times when you reach a certain age. And all those kinds of, you're going to need a lot of documentation to get either an enhanced license or a passport. So I would encourage everybody to look into that if they're planning on doing any flying in the fairly near future. Again, thanks for having me, and happy spring.
Thanks, John. Anybody else remember something that they wanted to mention? Seeing nothing. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you all for listening. Remember, this show airs every Sunday at 1 p.m. on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. Like the page, subscribe to the channel, and those platforms will notify you when the show airs. That's all. Oh, and you can read about it too in the paper the next week if you'd rather do it that way. That's all for this week. Happy Easter, everyone, and we'll see you all next week. Bye-bye for now.
Imagine yourself communicating with a difference. Pan-Dimensional Solutions helps you do this. Whether live spectator events, taped broadcasts, or real-time audience-engaging programs, you can benefit immediately from the tools Pan-Dimensional Solutions will share with you. Do you want to make a difference? Contact us at pandimensional.com.